Hello, 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 Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from Kangaroo City down here in Australia again. And, please don't kill the messenger. I just tell the truth, and then you make up your own minds. It's totally up to you. And Anna, I'm not turning the fan on right now because I don't want my panties blowing in the wind. You're so cute. If Mercy ever dies, you're number one. You're number one, girl. But Mercy's young. I think she's 10 years younger than you are. So anyway, I wanted to show you some hypocrisy. This is so common and typical of the Mormon Church and the leadership. They'll tell their sheeple members that they're the first ones to a disaster. They pay the most amount of money at the disaster, and the people's money never go to any kind of salaries to the authorities. We know the authorities are making six-figure incomes. We know that they're given right at about $1 million when they become an apostle to keep their mouth shut about the farce of the Mormon Church. The general authorities know. Well, anyway, here we go with President Monsen. He has coffee every morning with Jesus, and he tells the people, "Send me your money." And how dare you ask where it goes? You need to believe a prophet will never lead you astray. And he dances over to Zion's Bank. When they opened a bank about 5 years ago in Provo, he dedicated a bank with all the church's money in it. And he also dedicated the City Creek Mall. And when they gave him the big scissors, Jesus was cheering that the Mormon Church had spent $5 billion on condos and a mall that few people go to. And the prophet cut the ribbon and screamed, "Let's go shopping." Now there's a Jesus freak. Let's go shopping. Can you imagine the Dalai Lama and or the Pope and or Mohammed scream, "Let's go shopping," but the Mormons do. So anyway, Monsen just gave a wonderful talk down in BYU about missionary work and how happy he is that he's got 85,000 young people out in the mission field trying to pick up some tithe payers. Well, 15 of the 15, the first presidency and the 12 apostles, the big 15, 7 of them have never served a mission. They send out stupid, young, vulnerable young people and blow smoke up their ass that they're going to be sealed in the celestial kingdom and have celestial life, etc., etc. And these clowns, they don't even go on a mission themselves. Now, Gordon B. Hinckley never had a job. He worked for the church his whole life, and he worked for the railroad, I think, in Utah for about a year, maybe a year and a half. And after that, he had so many emotional and mental problems. The church just came in and gave him a job, and he continued in the church, raised up to be the prophet, went to BYU and tore down a perfectly good alumni house, put up a brand new one and put his name on it. He didn't put Jesus' name on it. He put Gordon B. Hinckley alumni house. So on his, I think, 95th birthday, he had a birthday party at BYU that cost over $1 million. Now, Gordon doesn't have $1 million. Where did all that cake and ice cream come from? Well, the members go, even if he's a bad man, I'm going to heaven. Sure you are. Sure you are. So anyway, here's a wonderful talk. Take a look at my link. Monsen just, loving missionaries and loving what they do and how they do it. And then I didn't put it up there because I don't. Go to Google. Go to Google yourself. You'll never believe the Bard. Most of the people that watch me are Mormons. And when I tell you Monsen never served a mission, and he's down there telling the missionaries how important they are and how, important their work is, Well, if it was, why did he go on a mission? Because he didn't want to live with another guy for 2 years, knock on doors, get spit on, chased by dogs, and live in third world countries. That ain't the Monsen way. His home up there in Midway is, it's not real fancy. It's not a multi-million-dollar home, but he's got 2 or 3 homes. And the Hinkster, he has the apartment, or he did. Maybe he has the apartment now on Kolob, but he had the great big apartment downtown in the church office building. So these guys aren't poor. The Mormon people are poor because they give their money away. The humanitarian fund, the Mormon Church in the last 10 years has given 1.5% of the billions of dollars they bring in. It's ridiculous. When the Haitians had a flood over there, a tsunami or whatever it was, the Mormon Church took pictures of how they were helping. You know, they have now those yellow vests, and they say, you know, helping hands or something, because the Mormons want credit for everything that they do. Well, with the Haitians, they were so poor, the Mormons just gave them a piece of tin and 4 2x4s to put a roof up again, and that was a home in Haiti. I remember seeing pictures of the tsunami in the Philippines, and the Mormon Church went in there after the tsunami, and the humanitarian help wasn't food, it wasn't supplies, it wasn't putting their infrastructure back together, their electrical system, the you know, sanitation, none of that. They gave the Filipinos a hammer for each family and a bag of nails. That's funny shit. That is funny shit. And most of the humanitarian help the Mormon Church gives is not cash. You will never see a Mormon give cash to anybody. They take cash, but they don't give it. Most of the donation to third world countries are in kind. They're not money. It's the Relief Society ladies putting together toothbrushes and toothpaste and blankets and pillows and little toys they make for the kids. And then the Mormon Church says, well, that's worth $1 million right there. So the IRS doesn't argue with them. They just say, oh, well, they're tax exempt anyway. But for the numbers, it makes the numbers look better. And the 1.5% comes from the last 10 years of the Mormon Church, because the statistic was so skewed between the first and 7th year. They hardly gave anything the first and 7th year of this survey. Well, the years 8, 9, and 10, they gave several $1 million, and so now they extrapolated over a 10-year period, and it makes them look better at 1.5%. But you know, when you take $1 billion and you take in, right, we guess that they're right at about $15 billion a year, and you give out 1.5% of that. That's not very much money for disasters, but you can buy a lot of hammers and a lot of nails. And the Philippine people, they couldn't even, half of them didn't know how to use a hammer. And so the church put together an educational woodshop program so that the fathers and the men could hammer the tin and the nails into the wood. So anyway, if you want to see how the Mormon Church really operates, please look at my link down below, then go on to Google. See if I'm lying. The Bard don't lie. Monsen and I think 7 others did not serve missions, and they are the ones that call all the missionaries, and they're the ones that praise all the missionaries, and they're the ones that say every member a missionary. Except them. Except them. They've never lived in a third world country. They've never been spit on. They've never had a dog bite them. They've never had fleas, dengue fever, projectile vomiting and diarrhea, living in a house that you wouldn't put a cow in the United States, and seldom electricity, sometimes electricity. There was a missionary 2 years ago, he had electricity, and he touched the wire and he's dead. He's dead. They're subject to being run over by bikes. They're subject to being electrocuted. One of them got bit by a tiger, I guess, because he jumped over the zoo fence. These are 18 and 19-year-old kids, and a lot of them don't have any sense. And some of them get killed. And Monsen praises them and basically says the Lord wanted them on the other side to complete their mission. When is Monsen going to say, well, maybe the Lord wants me here on this side to serve a mission? He can serve a senior mission. What's the problem here? So anyway, the Bard says, you know, Pele ale 3 times, and don't cut my throat, don't cut my heart out, and don't cut my guts out. And I would like to make sure I have health and enable, marrow on the bone, strength and loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. And the Bard's gone.